Okay, so first off, I have my eyes on this one. Why it's not as I mean I don't know where to begin in regards to talking about CCL, but this one has been a moneymaker for us. Nobody can say otherwise. I've made money on it. I've lost money on it, and I'm still in it. I like this for a core play going into 2020 and also going into 2021. Why is that? Is because this has been a 2 year, you can say falling wedge, or you can say descending channel. And we just recently broke out to today. We broke out of that channel today, finally. I mean, not today, sorry. The past 2 weeks. Um, but going forward, I'm looking at I noticed a lot of things because I was talking to D about this. Me and D talk every single day. Um, Watching this very close. And despite the daily, the weekly literally is the most attractive thing here. And I'm going to show you guys why. This is the daily. The daily, we're up there. I mean, I want to see, I really don't want to see any much more of a pullback just yet. I want us to actually at least touch that 53.27 level this week and then get that pullback down. But as you can see here, I mean, the daily looks a little extended. A lot of you guys will say, oh, it's overboard, or etc. I just see us, we have a gap and go. Nice flag pennant. We closed literally above the previous close, which is very important. Volume was very interesting to me as well. I actually pointed that out in chart visuals. That stood out to me a lot. Volume was very low. Last 10-minute volume was very low as well. And look at the volume on Friday. Look at this volume. We had a big gap of volume from ER, followed by not too bad volume, somewhat daily average volume. And then we had small volume here, nice little volume there. And then Friday, it was small volume. And then that last 15 minutes was like, it was weird. They tried to pull it back and then they just pushed it. Volume's decreasing, but there's a lot of I'm trying to literally figure out what exactly they're doing. Do they want to pull it back before they rip it one more time? But I'm going to show you guys what I see in this one. I'm going to get rid of these. This is something I want to focus on as a core, not going into this week, but going into the next few weeks. And to play this one, you have to play this one very smart. So what I'm noticing, and I like to use corporate actions. You go to equities, you go to show corporate actions. This tells you when the ERs and everything like that, right? So I use this. This is like not an indicator. It's just something I just use to see past movements from last ERs. And last ER, where was it? This one, I think it was here. Okay, so this was last ER. Then we had the recent ER. And just look at the price from all the previous ERs, the rejections. There's a rejection here at the 53.27 level. Then previous to that one, there was basically a fall, which it bounced off of that 54. That's a level. This 54. This is what 3 years ago, not the recent year, but 3 years before that. If you look at that level here where it bounced off at and came down and then it bounced back up to hit the 1430 estimate, this is all in a weekly visual. This 54 level was very important to hold, and we actually held that level on the weekly. Let me get rid of the volume. I don't really need volume right now. But I analyze every single thing. Like, you guys got to understand, like, when I'm looking at these things, I'm looking at everything. Let me show you. So here, where's my drawing tool? This was an important level to hold. Previous ER, I mean, they broke it down over here, but same thing, bounced here. This had to hold, but it failed. And then we cascaded, we came back down. Then we came back to it and rejected that level. So we got support. We got 1, 2 supports. Then we rejected it, became resistance. So that's 1, 2. Now closing just at, it was resistance. Then Friday, support. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to show you guys why. When price is basically trading above the 50-54 when it bounces, the following week has a move to the upside to 53.27. So this is a short week. This is the reason I hate short weeks and I like short weeks, because you don't know what their goal is to do with that stock for the week, whether it's institutions or whoever. But the fact that we held this 50-54, I'm looking for somewhat of a move like this. I want us to test this 53.27 this week. But being a short week, it's really going to take, it's going to take a lot. Possibly, I'm expecting some more news to come, some upgrades. We got a lot of downgrades and upgrades. To be honest, I just feel like it's being held down. And I like that. Sometimes that's actually a great thing. It does kill our premiums and stuff like that as far as decay goes. But other than that, I actually like that. Because you get an idea the more you watch it. And this is forming perfectly. Above 53.27 is a breakout. So we're breaking out into the new year. And I'm targeting 75 possibly by end of 2021. Very possible for CCL. So that's CCL. I'm looking at the 52 calls, 52.50 calls, and 53 calls 2 weeks out. So definitely buy time. And being at a short week, it's best to literally, honestly, not just buy next week's, the week after next. So not 1-3, not just 110, but 117. Look at the 117.53s as well. But all in all, this is a candle combo on the weekly. If you guys don't know, but that's a candle combo on the weekly. Candle combos on the weekly. If this works, we can get a nice follow through 2 to 3 point move this week, even if we get a pullback. I would say pullback would have to be at near close or previous high of the prior week to that, which was 51.21. So I bounce off of here. I want to see that, and then we take off from there, targeting 53.27. If we get above that, last week's move, short week 159, add 159 to that. That's automatically rounding to about 53 points anyway. Not 53 points, to 53 target that we're looking for. And as you can see, the 1430 SMA is crossing. So long term, we got a long setup here. It's going to be a lot going into the year. It's going to be awesome. So that's CCL. Next up, we got SHAK. I talk about SHAK a lot. SHAK is very complicated. Sometimes the complicated ones are the ones nobody wants to touch. So those are the ones I focus on. Because everybody knows SHAK is a very complicated trade. But when it moves, it moves. It moves as if there's no shares available. And by that, I mean it's like downside, it can drop 60 cents in 5 minutes. Upside, it can pop 60 cents in 5 minutes. Like, it's crazy. And we had this 14 SMA coming down on the weekly, and that's what I like a lot. Targeting here around 65, 4 weeks out. You buy time, you buy a month, 5 points out. That's very safe. That's very smart. So looking at end of January, but since this week is a short week, you will take the beginning of February. All in all, it's been holding very well. That 61.34 needs to close above. So let's see what happens this week. But we have higher lows. We definitely do have higher lows. And that's 2 weeks in a row. I know there's a lot going on here. Let me just get rid of this. Perfect. That was just Fibonacci retracements inside of an extension. And I have this somewhat of a triangle coming out of this as well. If I popped open the daily, you'll get more of a better visual too. I feel like this is going to be the stock. There's a gap to fill. So that gap is going to take some time. That's at 80. So imagine filling this gap less than a year. That's definitely possible. I'm targeting 123. If there was 2022 calls, I would take the 120s for 2022. Why? Yeah, do I see this doubling? I see the stock definitely doubling. 50% this year. That's actually not much of Yes, possibly. I mean, we break out of this. We close above the 14 to 30 SMA. We've been finding that as support. Get above 65.73. We got room to 76.85. See that around April, Mayish. Maybe before that. We have an ER coming. So for March or ending of February, take the March 70, 75 calls, and then we can move from there. I said no questions, guys. Thanks. But I like this. I like this one a lot. So this is gonna be the channel that has developed. We're gonna move off of that. LXRX is another one I like. Moves very interesting. A nice pullback. Had that engulfing weekly, and then it pulled back to near 392, but it didn't go all the way down to 392. Actually bounced off some decent support. I mean, I like this one still. I still like it. I want to see it hold this 14, this 30 SMA here, which is 415. I want to see how that reacts this week. Looking at the 5 calls, any close above 436 on the weekly. We targeting 479 the following week after that, and then maybe after that we'll be back to 52 weeks high, the 52 weeks. So targeting 621-ish within this channel. We'll probably possibly get there around February. So the February, I mean, I don't know if there's even February. Let me check this February's for LXRX. Yep, the February 6s. I mean, spread looks weird right now, of course. But other than that, I mean, I like this chart. I like the setup. Long term, I mean, my target is $10. Question is when. PSA, I like this one. We have calls in it. I've been actually trying to load the 230s at a nickel. I've been doing that. That's been me. Bidding, testing the spreads. They had this one controlled this week, the past week, and the week before that. When I saw the activity come in on it too, it was pretty interesting. It was like 500 calls that day too at that. But this looks pretty nice, targeting 220.42. And this is a daily chart, not even a weekly chart. So that's even awesome. That's what makes it more, I like it. It's clean, it's clear. Visuals there. That 210.19 was holding pretty well all week. We're getting a breakout. We got a what is this? 214. I want to see above 215. We can get above 215 this week. Then we'll head north of 220.42 for January. This one also has a gap to fill too. I'm not even sure what this company does. Majority of the stocks that we trade, I'm not even sure what most of them do. The technicals just line up with every single thing that's going on. They report in February as well too. This would be basically the breakout. If I wanted to draw a visual or trend, actually let me remove this. Work it from here. Looks pretty nice. And going into the new year, this is another nice long setup. I like this one a lot as a long setup. Got a gap fill, 232. I mean, seeing that in a couple of months, not too bad. I can see that happening in March. Get above that 228.69 level. So PSA, definitely good. GS is another one. I mean, banks, you got to keep a big watch on banks. Banks and insurers. The reason I like to watch them, I mean, being that was a short week, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Taking those 230, 250 calls for GS was smart, but then keep trying to trade them throughout the day. Friday was not good when I saw a double top on the daily. But I'm still a little skeptical in regards to what they're trying to do with GS right now. But GS is already broken out over 227, 227.71, targeting 238.79 or 240 is still in target. Breaking out of the ascending triangle too. Weekly has me. This. Was it a fake out? That's the question. But I like how we closed. The fact that we actually closed above this 227.71 was what's important. To get that 240, I can see that happening towards end of January, possibly mid-January too. But the setup is there. Everything is clear. They've been buying this one too. I remember when everybody was against it and we were the only ones bullish. So that 227.71 was the first breakout. Second would be over 238.79. 274 next year, definitely not out the question. I don't see why not. This is actually my favorite bank, as you guys know. If I drew a trend line, I can even draw a trend line. I can draw it from that top to this top and bring it down to here. Lines it perfectly, so I'll bring this over so it's actually more perfect. Now remove the duplicate. Channel 1. And this will be the trend that we're basically following on GS. These are your levels. Please watch the video over and over if you need to get your points. It's very important that you guys do. So GS is definitely big time on radar. I mean, another pullback under 229, even over the 228, I would take that long. At least 3 to 4 weeks out, though, to play the safe side. A 10-point move in GS would be sick on a weekly. Haven't had that in about 3 weeks. Last time was 15 points. Next up, we got Guild. Guild has been something else. I'm just watching this one closely. As long as they keep it above the 14 to 30 estimate, that's all that matters. Maybe one more hammer off the 14. And then that's when we really go long, looking at the 67s and the 70s for February and beyond. But it's a nice flag here developing too also. I can remove this, make a channel here using this double bottom. Sorry about that. I'm bringing it to the top here. This will be the channel that it's currently trading in. Oops, it's a little slanted. That's much better. Then bring it down to the daily. Perfect. Much better. So we're basically trading in this channel right now. I'd like to see it come down some more. That's what I was telling you guys. Like, you guys are not looking at the big picture. You guys are focusing on, oh, the trend line. You're trying to create something that's really not there. And I kept telling you guys, this level needs to hold. Focus on this level. If we close below this level, we are going downside. There was downside, which was the 30 SMA, and I pointed that one out. So since we're below 14 and 30 SMA on the daily, then you got to convert to the weekly. The reason you convert to the weekly, because we are currently trading above it. And that's basically where it's been bouncing off of. These ranges have been pretty nice though. 2.7 points, got 2.38, 2.16. Last week, small week, short week, 169. Another short week this week. So we either hold this low or we come right back down and bounce off of the 65.11. You guys know me. I always go for wherever I can get a price cheaper. So they bring this down to the 1430 SMA and hammer it off of that, then we're good to go. And that possibly might line up with, let me see. It depends on where they bring it to. But to get that 14 to touch there. But that's Guild. These are things I'm going to be watching. I'm like, this week is a short week, so I have to be on top of everything. I don't want to pay too much attention to anything that is not really moving. Actually, the things that really don't move are the ones you should be paying attention to. Sorry. Why? Like, knock. I mean, Like I was watching the trading floor, and I was watching everybody talk like, "Oh, Knock's not doing anything," blah blah blah. Knock is still in the triangle. Knock is still trying to find where it wants to go. You guys got to remember things need to consolidate. You guys think because last week we made big money off of this play. This play moved so great, and then this week it's not moving because it needs time to base out and channel. That's what it does. It needs to do that. Either it'll do it by pulling back or it'll just channel out sideways. Sideways action is okay and it's good. It's good. Everybody wants things to happen on demand when they want it to. It doesn't work. The market doesn't work like that for you guys. It doesn't work like that for me either. You can see the 14 SMA on knock as well. The rejected 348.98. That was a very important level to hold above. So right now we're focused on that. So we have downside here, and then possibly maybe one more down. I mean, I wouldn't mind us bouncing off of this level here. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe come hammer off here, close above 345, and then get long 350s about 2 weeks out. Got to play this one super safe. And then the 378s probably mid-year, or the 380s for mid-year. I definitely see this one breaking out. But so far, we've been trading in this channel. And this is why it's good to open up the bigger picture. Stop focusing on intraday charts. You guys see a big picture. Like, look for example, Amazon was 5 months. Then it broke out this week that just passed. We cleaned up knock for at least 3 months. So you can't be too greedy. We know when it moves, it moves. Yes, that is correct. But right now, this is the channel for knock. And I'm actually going to remove my extensions. Just going to keep this channel up here. Let me make this much more. Let me remove this. Remove this. Let me do this again. Very simple. Just a channel. I'm actually going to bring the channel up to actually a closing price. I want this as even as possible. All right, let me activate it. And not for nothing, a lot of you say you guys watch these videos, but I don't see many charts from a lot of you. And I would like to see more chart posting. I like to see your visual. It doesn't matter if you feel you're wrong. It doesn't matter. You won't be judged. We will give our opinions, and that's okay. That's what we're here for. So this is the channel we are currently in with knock. The range from the low here is 337 and the high is 381. So the medium of this channel would be blue line. So right now we're trading below 350. So it's going to be 350 to 340 up and down until it breaks above 350. Once we get above 350 or 348.98 or 348.87, I think it's one of those. Then we get a room to 360. 360, then you start taking anything above 350, then you take 2 weeks out to go for 360 calls. That would be the smartest thing. But treat it as a flag. This is what it is. It's a channel. And when it breaks out this channel, it will be ready. And if you want, like, the more you start charting and you start understanding charts, you start seeing so much patterns that you're like, wow. Like I just drew a line and it just lines up perfectly. If it breaks out of this, it's gonna bounce, and we're just gonna see seeing bounce action here all the way out until it breaks out. I wouldn't mind that either. That'd be sick. See this channel, this line goes all the way. I mean, I can also do this. This is just me messing around, just bringing it here, just in case. This is just another trend line. This is a rising channel. And when it comes off, it's like netties when we had netties. When it comes off of this channel, the bottom of the channel, it takes off, gets above, comes back, hits that channel, and then it takes off again. So if we were literally moving similar to, let's say we bounce off of here and we peaked out, this is how we peaked. I duplicate this. We peaked out. We came down here. This is how we peaked. So by January, March, April, we'll be over 400. That's just what this box prediction is. Just give you an example of how price is acting here. And it works pretty nicely too. This one has like an inverted head and shoulders. That's what this was down here. But not, I mean, if you guys are smart, buy time. If you're taking 360s, 2 months, 2 months out. They're probably expensive. That's okay. It's nothing wrong with it being expensive. And then if you want to protect your capital, buy weekly puts. If it's still in a downtrend, buy weekly puts to hedge your long positions. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's where you guys get confused. You guys and gals get very confused with that. All right, so I'm saying 430. Like, so let's see what the 430s look like. Let's give you guys an example. January, March, April. There is no. They gotta open that. They didn't open that yet, but 430s definitely not too expensive. Okay. I even take the 420s, the 430s. They're trading at 75 cents. So what I would do for this is I would take like a spec. I'll take a starter position just to see where this basically comes off at in the next 2 weeks, and then I'll add to that position. If I see it increasing, then I'll add to it. I'm gonna add this to my arsenal. Where are you? Here we go. And you guys gotta stop paying attention to open interest. I honestly like when there is no open interest. People use open interest as resistance and supports too. I really am not a big fan of open interest. So that's knock. We went over that. I don't know if I went over Nettie's. Nettie's been interesting too. It's been moving pretty weird and funny. Got so much going on here. The reason I have so many Fibonacci's is because I have it for intraday, for monthly and weekly. I got to start labeling them as well. I do switch up my Fibonacci's when price breaks out of certain current levels. This looks just like, what ticker was I looking at? Oh, this looks like knock. Why does Nettie's look like knock with this channel here going? And then it'll be here. Yep, this will make sense. Previously off the big move. That was an ER that we had played. I want to see Nettie's hold this here. If this can hold, even if it bounced off of this level, this 290, I mean, it would need a crazy hammer just to stay within trend, unless I would bring this down and it would come down to here. Let me actually fix this. because I like my coefficients are below as opposed to at the top. Okay, perfect. There we go. Ladies needs to get above 313. So 320s, 2.5 weeks out, 2 weeks out, still not bad. I say 2.5 because it's a short week. But looking at Nettie's, these are our levels. Nettie's is in an ascending channel as well. It's been like this all year. And we caught it at a great time too. Targeting 372 if it can continue to stay in this trend. Some things are just that simple. You just got to follow the trend. The trend is literally your friend. SPY ES is looking good. Give us a little gap tomorrow. I wouldn't mind that. I don't even need to talk about Amazon. The video is there. But other than that, these are things that I'm looking at going into next year, guys. I want you guys focused. This week, just let's monitor things. Stop trying to play everything. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh my God, I missed this, I missed that. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it like 50 times. It's a short week. Do not trade. Just because I'm trading doesn't mean you have to trade. Just because your other community members are trading doesn't mean you have to trade. And don't touch the lottos. Unless you hear something that says possible core, buy time. Because I see that when I post an alert, you guys immediately jump into it and just market order it. And the funny part is when I post that alert, I look at the next week's volume and not much body really in there. Only a few. And those are the ones that actually are the profitable ones. No offense to anyone. But I'm going to be very repetitive with this. This year, nobody's slipping up. There's nobody slipping up. I watch everybody. If you're not posting on the trading floor, but you have a comment to make in the off-topic channel to me or about the team, you are not allowed. I'm going to say that now. Unless you are posting your trades, your entries and exits on the trading floor. I mean, if you have any questions or anything, you can be free to DM me. My DMs are always open. So if somebody says, oh, he doesn't respond to DMs, that is a lie. Sometimes the person asks the same question, I answer it, and then they still ask it again. As you guys can see from what just recently happened.